Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Weird Science Comics YouTube channel, where I'm going to be reviewing Dark Knight's Death Metal #1, the big book coming out this week, written by Scott Snyder, art by Greg Capullo. And it's one of these things that this book has become bigger and bigger and bigger as it has approached, mainly because it looks like this is going to be the thing that will lead us forward in the DCU. When Dan DiDio ended up getting fired, it looks like that 5G kind of got scrapped for the most part, and that the death metal is going to be what opens up the timelines and also pushes us forward in there. Now, it isn't an issue that is easy to just jump into. If you have not read Metal, Dark Knight's Metal, if you haven't read the Scott Snyder Justice League, and if you haven't read Hell Arisen, and not even to mention all the Batman Who Laughs stuff and all these other tie-ins, you're going to have some problems. There's going to be some stumbling blocks. There's things that are alluded to. There's things that are kind of wink mentioned, but there's not a thing. And I think that what people wanted, or what people expected at least, was that because of the delay between Justice League 39, Hell Arisen, and now this, that they were going to get a first page, a recap, something that's going to get us all together. Well, part of the mystery that Scott Snyder's doing here is, how did we get here? How do we go on? What happened to Batman? What's going on with Superman? What's there with Wonder? All of these things going on. We don't see all the characters from the Justice League 2, and I'm kind of worried about some of them. But the whole idea of what is happening here, it really gets you just get thrown into it. You get thrown with the wolves here, and Scott Snyder's not going to hold your hand. Now, I am going to give you 2 panels that will catch you up a bit just to get into this. Here is the end of Justice League 39. The Justice League were running into an open door, blue energy, to escape Perpetua, who had pretty much beaten them at the end of Scott Snyder's Justice League run. But it is a ending that gave you some hope. It ends up where they're going to fight. I think maybe regroup first, but then fight Perpetua, from the shadows, because she doesn't know that they escaped. The problem is, during Hell Arisen by James Tynion, you ended up seeing that the Batman Who Laughs knew all about this, and he ended up telling Perpetua. So when you had the Hell Arisen, you had a Apex Lex Luthor, who was the side guy for Perpetua. Batman Who Laughs kind of weasels himself in. Lex is out. Batman Who Laughs is in, and he knows exactly what happened to the Justice League. And so when you get into this issue, you don't know how this is going to be. What the play is here is there has been a battle, maybe more, and the Justice League did not win. They seem to have lost. The Perpetua is out and about destroying the multiverse as Batman Who Laughs runs Earth in this hellish version of it, seemingly using the heroes to power up, continuously creating more dark multiverse energy, crisis energy from them having the remembrances of these dark crises, creating them in their nightmares, as we've seen what happens in the dark multiverse. So you do start out with Sergeant Rock. He's smoking like 7 cigarettes. He's one of those like file photos where the guy's smoking 7 packs at a time. Oh my God, it's like his dad came and said, "What, Sergeant Rock, you're smoking? Well, you're going to smoke them all right now." He's also talking about eating crap sandwiches and crap curly fries. Now, to me, there is no such thing as a non-crappy curly fry. I hate them. I cannot stand curly fries at all. I think they are complete and utter garbage. But this is just this crazy little opening. It does tie back at the end where Sergeant Rock is joined by Batman to, hey, put down your crap sandwich and your crap curly fries. Let's go fight. But you go and you see a map of the DCU. It is mentioned in the next deal of, yes, the real DCU. This seems to be what has turned into Earth. It does remind me a lot of the wastelands of the, old man Logan stuff at Marvel. But when I look at these things, I always like these things, especially when you get like a fantasy book and you get to see the map and you're like, oh my, the Arkham Wastelands, that seems cool. Well, you end up seeing these sections. They kind of deal with the members that the Batman Who Laughs has set up, his quote unquote Justice League, that are in control of certain areas and things like that. But we start off with Wonder Woman, that she is down in Themyscira hell, in the DCU. Yes, the real DCU, this whole spell out. And all these things to me are very intriguing. I'm a Scott Snyder fan, so I am going to wait to see them play out. I do think that if you are on the fence, if you're not a fan of some of the things from Metal, if you're not a fan of, I think that you're going to be thrown off. I think that you're going to end up like, oh man, more of this stuff, whatever. But I think that there's a lot of intriguing things in here. And I think that once you get into it, you will kind of see how these things work out. Now, this is going to be more of a non-spoiler review. I probably will do another one, say on Friday, that is a little more open to what's happening. I don't want to spoil this. I'm doing this Tuesday morning. Most people haven't even had a chance to get their book. So I don't want to spoil this. This is just for me to go through and tell you, what I thought and if I think it's worth you getting and stuff like that. But this is Wonder Woman. She's ripping apart the Invisible Jet under orders by the Batman Who Laughs. She has her, what I would say, an advisor, is the most horrific looking Swamp Thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's Swamp Thing on fire. Right there's trouble. I mean, he is a mess, right? He is terrible. But he's there to kind of, talk to Wonder Woman. It gets it so that you don't just have inner monologue. You're going to have them talking back and forth. But yeah, this world is hell. This is actually, Themyscira is hell. And it makes sense because Themyscira does have that open portal to Tartarus. So this makes sense. But there are prisoners being brought there, and one particular here. And they have turned Themyscira into pretty much a prison. You see a bunch of villains here as you go through. And with that, you do get to figure out the idea that the Batman Who Laughs and Perpetua do not want to necessarily kill the Justice League. They don't want to kill the heroes because they're pretty much fueled by the Dark Multiverse. The Dark Multiverse is fueled by our heroes and villains and all their nightmares. So to keep this engine rolling, you end up having to keep the, heroes alive so that they can keep on making more and more of these hellish versions. It's a very clever thing, I think, because it is the heroes who cannot help but continuously help Perpetua, their enemy, but also continuously creating more and more of this nightmare that they're stuck in. I think that is a pretty cool concept. I like the way that this is spelling out more than, say, just the Dark Multiverse when we first were introduced to it in Dark Knight's Metal. But yeah, somebody is coming with a prisoner. We see the Joker there. That kind of ups the ante. Oh my God, they have the Joker. The Joker's just being a jerk. He's trying to pretend, look at me, I'm the Batman. So you can't do that. And he says, the world up there is ruled by Batman. So to me, down here really is Paradise Island. He loves it there. Though I would think that a Joker would love to go up there where it is ruled by the Batmen. But I like that the Joker's here. I think that he's going to play out big. It is the Joker. Joker was big at points in Metal as well, and in No Justice and all of these things. So you end up with him, hey, the Joker's there. But the idea of, hey, the world above is ruled by Batman. You're like, oh my God, has Bruce gone bad? You kind of can figure it's the Batman Who Laughs. Well, you end up having this prisoner arrive. One of the characters there is Batmage in the middle. That is a connection with Wonder Woman on this new Justice League, a Justice League that seems to be, the yin and the yang here. You end up having a good older hero that's, who we know, combined with a Batman Who Laughs guy who's watching them. And so it's kind of a cool concept, but you end up having Batmage come down with this prisoner. One of the big wow moments, the fun moments of this is the Tyrannosaurus Rex there, which is actually the AI of Bruce Wayne uploaded into the T-Rex in the cave when a cave in the Dark Multiverse deal was collapsing. So that is a Dark Multiverse Batman right there. B-Rex, they call him. And Wonder Woman and B-Rex go back and forth at each other. It's pretty much, it's fun. Wonder Woman ends up saying, how you throw batarangs with those small arms? I'm working on it, stuff like that. But the big thing here is, who is that prisoner? Where are they? They're taking the prisoner, not even in these other cells. This prisoner, the bad guys, the ones that are the biggest threat, it seems, they go right down to Tartarus. And that's where they take this prisoner. Again, this is a huge spoiler who it is. I think that people will be excited about it, though. And just as we go, because there is mentioned the Justice League is going to be gathering. Batman Who Laughs wants to have the Justice League, so let's go. And you do have this little deal. And I want to show you that just to shut, Greg Capullo's art's great throughout. It really is. If you're a Greg Capullo fan, just a Greg Capullo fan, I think that this is worth just getting just to go through and see his character designs and things like that. But you do have this gathering of the Justice League. Like I said, there seems to be like a Harley, but then there's Dr. Arkham. You end up having Aquaman, but then you end up having the Blackfeet and Bathmat. You have all these things going. And again, you have Batmage with Wonder Woman, stuff like that. It's really cool. It's a cool moment. There's a lot of these moments where you look and like, oh man, that's so cool. There is here mention of Superman that is being in the whole new apocalypse. So that's all you're going to get for Superman. Again, this is where I think some people will be thrown off. They're expecting to have everybody there, everybody fighting. Oh my, we did this, that, and the other thing. We're going to have to wait and see how this works out. The big thing here, too, is that it's mentioned that Perpetua is going through the multiverse and destroying planets. There's 8 left. She just ripped apart Earth 22, which is the Kingdom Come. R.I.P. Kingdom Come. You end up there done. And when she's done doing that, they will remake the multiverse in their own deal. At one point, the Batman Who Laughs even has a little deal that he thinks he wants to make with Wonder Woman about, hey, you deal with me. I'm not really down that much with Perpetua. We'll have our own planet, things like that. At this point, you end up having him just say, oh, you bad guys with me. We're going to be able to rework all of this. Perpetua is going to make this new stuff. And this is dark. It is dismal at this point. You do start to pick it up a little where Batman does arrive. Batman shows up. He is going to take it to the Batman Who Laughs. He's going to fight him. He's not going to win. Again, this is where you are going to get thrown off a little, but he is in contact with, telepathically with Wonder Woman. That is the setup from what John Johns did in the Justice League deal. Now, I think that there's some things that we're seeing that may not be true. I think that there may be some little things that are a little hints at stuff, but Batman, the whole thing revolves around this. How are we going to fix this universe? Our heroes are going to want to change and stop and do all this, defeat Perpetua. But how do we do this? Batman wants to do it kind of like a Revolutionary War deal. We'll hit him here a little. We'll hide in the woods and hit him there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to run off and hide and make an invisible planet where we can hide. All that. Diana's like, no. I'm not going to leave the people we lost behind. I'm not going to give up on what we had. Diana is definitely the hope of this whole thing. Scott Snyder has spelled out that she's also the main character. And we start with her. So I think that is true. What she wants to do is, no, we're going to change things back. We have to go and get rid of this nonsense. I don't even want to, even in my mind, think that this is still going on at some place. I want my sisters back. I want the people that we love. I want everyone back. I want it reset. I want all that. Batman is a cynical guy, but he's realistic. They have lost. And he just wants to be able to have an existence where they're just not tortured and have all these let's go. And he wants to, hey, we'll use the invisible jet, the material of that. We'll make invisible weapons. We'll take care of them. And then we'll leave and make an invisible planet. It's all kind of that. But Diana does not want that to have happen. They do have a battle here. Again, though, they keep losing. This is a cool deal. And I think it does because the Justice League ended up with the Batman of Laughs, and I'm talking this new Justice League. They ended up gathering up at Castle Bat. And I don't think that this Earth is in the Dark Multiverse, though I think that this shows that there is a portal underneath Castle Bat to this Earth from the Dark Multiverse as these things spill out. And this just shows you it's an endless army. How are you going to defeat this? And you do see Batman. Batman has a cool thing that he does. You end up seeing their Jonah Hex there. And yeah, he tries to fight back and he just gets away. He has to get away. Well, when this is over, Diana does have to or wants to go talk to this prisoner. She knows who this prisoner was. She has to go talk to him, and she goes down to Tartarus to do it, even though Swamp Thing says, no, you shouldn't do that. But she does go and talk to this person. I'm not going to fully, spoil who it is. It's big. It's something that, again, I think people will love. But it is explained then about this universe, about the idea of crisis energy versus anti-crisis energy, AC/DC, all these things. This is Perpetua. She deals with this dark multiverse crisis stuff. She doesn't want things to open up. She wants to have these singular things to keep everybody separated. It kind of explains reboots. It kind of explains, the New 52, stuff like that, and really does explain why some of the characters didn't come through, where Rebirth was supposed to. All of this stuff is here, where it says the way to fight back is to go and fight against these crises, to go and open up the timeline, to pretty much have hopes and dreams instead of these nightmares. And it gets me excited. It really does. It gets me excited about the future that, we'll get past this big fight. It's the evil versus the good, the hope, the dreams. Again, it's almost like Rebirth fighting back at the New 52 again. It's stuff like that. And I do like it, and I hope that our heroes win. But you end then with, a little bit of a plan, a little bit of okay, this is what we need to do with Diana, what she is set to do. But you also then see Batman at the end go to Crap Burger Sergeant Rock and say, it's time to fight. Let's go. We're going to fight while Batman wants to fight like he does in the shadows and things like that. But I liked it. I did. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10. I know that a lot of people will. I will not, because of this cold open, because it's going to leave a bunch of people in the dark at the beginning. It's supposed to do that. But that doesn't mean I can sit here and say that it will play out, so I have to rate it higher. I will wait to see what happens. I think it will pay off. I think that it will end up very good. I think that it will go forward and we'll have, a grand new DCU, but as a first issue and one issue, I'm giving it an 8.3. The art is great. There's a lot of things that intrigue me. But again, I say this in the written reviews a lot. I can't give a 10 out of 10 because I'm intrigued. Because a lot of times things you're intrigued about, or I'm hopeful, or I kind of, you can't coulda, shoulda. I need to rate the issue of what I got. And I do think that it threw me off a bit, but by the end, I'm in. I like the concept of it. I like the idea of it. I'm looking forward to the next issue. And that's what we're supposed to have. You're supposed to read an issue and want to read the next one, I think. And so, I give it an 8.3, but I hope that you like this, pretty much a non-spoiler version of the review. I have problems with that. I have to get used to doing that too. But if you like this, please subscribe to the channel. Also like the video and check out the notes below, where there's a ton of links to stuff like our DC and Marvel websites, podcasts, all that. We also have a Patreon where you can support us at patreon.com/weirdscience, where we do a ton of shows. But thanks everybody. And I'll just leave saying I probably will do a more spoiler deal, like I said, probably on Friday around that time. So thanks everybody, and I'll talk to you later.